Uncletale proudly present the fountain of one true wish in a misty valley cloaked in dew. In the earthy scent of the forest, a small hidden spring lay quietly in the heart of the woods.
No one knew when it came to be, but villagers from a nearby town had passed down the tale for generations that the spring could grant a single wish to anyone who found it. But there was one unbreakable rule: anyone who wishes for more than one thing will be punished. Children loved hearing the story before bed. Some believed it, some didn't. But one day, someone truly found the fountain. Tim, a scruffy little boy in a worn shirt washed by his mother, walked into the forest with a worried heart.
His mother had been sick for months, her smile fading, her cough worsening.
Tim remembered the story his grandmother once told him about the fountain of one true wish.
So, he set out alone, hoping only for his mother to smile again. After hours of wandering, a shimmering light peeked through the bushes.
There it was, a small, peaceful fountain that seemed almost alive.
Tim knelt down, touched the water, and said softly, "I wish for my mother to be well again." There was no flash, no sound, but his heart felt a strange warmth. The next morning, his mother smiled bright as she cooked soup that filled their home with warmth and joy. Tim said nothing. He just hugged his mother tightly, knowing the fountain was real. Days later, an old man named Grandpa Enrique, hunched from years of back pain, heard children whispering about a boy whose mother had miraculously recovered. He had never believed in magic, but that day, something pulled his tired feet toward the forest. He walked far, nearly collapsing, but at last, he reached a spring. Sunlight glinted off the water as tears welled in his eyes. He bent down and whispered, "Please, let my back heal. I want to carry my grandson again." The next morning, he rose without his cane. He lifted his grandson onto his shoulders and ran around the village square, laughing louder than he had in years. One day, a grand carriage stopped at the forest's edge. A wealthy man in fine clothes stepped down. His name was Verano, a merchant from a faraway city. He had heard the tale of the magical fountain and scoffed at the idea, but deep down, he wanted everything: wealth, power, love, youth, immortality. He marched into the woods like he already knew the way. When he found the fountain, he didn't show respect. He laughed and shouted, "I wish for 1,000,000 gold coins, a grand mansion, eternal youth, for everyone to love me, and power over all." Suddenly, the clear water turned black, a cold wind roared, the sky darkened, the ground trembled beneath him. A thunderous roar erupted from the spring. The bubbling water boiled. A red light burst from the fountain, turning into a bolt of lightning that struck Verano. He screamed, but no one heard. When silence returned, Verano was gone. In his place stood a stone statue, his face frozen in shock and regret. He stood beside the spring. Forever, from that day on, the fountain fell silent. No wishes were granted for a long, long time. Years passed. Little Tim grew into a kind young man. One day, he brought his nieces and nephews to the edge of the forest. He didn't reveal the fountain's exact location, but he told them, "The most magical things in this world aren't what we ask for. It's the honesty in our hearts when we ask." They all stood quietly before the statue, once a greedy man. He had become an eternal lesson. Wishes are not toys, and greed never truly brings what the heart needs. When your heart is pure, even the smallest gift can become a blessing. But when your heart is full of greed, even the greatest wish becomes a curse. He had become an eternal lesson. Wishes are not toys, and greed never truly brings what the heart needs. When your heart is pure, even the smallest gift can become a blessing. But when your heart is full of greed, even the greatest wish becomes a curse.